Hi, I'm State Representative Marco Liias from the 21st District in Snohomish County, and we are standing next to George Washington, obviously the namesake for our state. And you know, as folks that are engaged in government, sometimes we need inspiration. So that's why we keep busts of important people like George Washington around. Obviously a very important figure for the founders of our state. You know, we're one of a unique state here in the United States. We're the only state named after a U.S. president. We've actually got states named after kings and queens of England, but only one named after one of our presidents. So George Washington, certainly an important figure in the history of the United States. And one of the neatest things I like about George Washington is, in the whole span of modern history, there's only two people that voluntarily gave up power. So there's a guy in Rome named Cincinnatus who was emperor and leader of Rome for a while, and he gave up power and went back to his farm. And then it took a few thousand years before George Washington became the second leader in history that said, I will voluntarily give up the power of my office and return back home to my farm. And I think it sent a strong message for our country that power and political power in this country really isn't about the person, it's about the position, it's about the job. So I wanted to share a special quote that President Obama actually read that President Washington had written during the Revolutionary War. He said, "Let it be told to the future world that in the depth of winter, when nothing but hope and virtue could survive, that the city and the country, alarmed at one common danger, came forth to meet it." And President Obama used this quote as inspiration for his call to America, that we would also come forth to meet our common challenges as a country today. And here in Washington, we've done that. Just this session, in the last 3 months, we have reformed the way we do unemployment insurance to boost benefits for unemployed workers. We've passed a sweeping transportation budget and transportation stimulus act that are going to put thousands of people to work. Today we heard already that we've got tough unemployment news. We're putting back 50,000 construction workers back on the job. Working on our construction projects is going to be an important counter to that. And then third, we're doing things to make the state more competitive in the future when it comes to green jobs, when it comes to building the aerospace sector of the future. We're doing things to prepare Washington to succeed as soon as the economy recovers. So I think that just like George Washington called on the citizens in the 1700s to come forth and face that common danger, we've done that as a state and as a country, and I'm pretty excited about that.
There are only 2 weeks remaining in the session. What's left to do?
We're on day 93 of 105, and so really the major unfinished work is our operating budget. The state has about a $35 billion operating budget, and that's our major task, is agreeing with the Senate on what the direction should be there. That's going to be some of the most important and most difficult decisions we make. It's about whether or not we increase taxes, how we cut spending, do we protect schools, do we protect higher education, how do we address the social safety net and health care and it's basic services that people are relying on. So we're working through those decisions as we speak, and that's going to be our major task here towards the end of session. And after that, hopefully we'll be done.
After the session ends, we go into what's called the legislative interim. What happens to you during that time? Where do you go? What do you do? And how can people get a hold of you?
Well, I get to go home, so I go back to Mukilteo and live in the community, and get back connected to my friends and family and all the folks that are working in our district, and start hearing about the effects of our decisions, start hearing about the issues that are unresolved. A couple of my bill ideas this session came from work that I did last interim, listening to the concerns that people had around particular subjects. So I'll do that again. This interim, for the first time, we're going to have a district office, so my legislative aide, Paige DeChambeau, will be joining me up in the district. We're still working out the details on where that's going to be, and once we have our location selected, we'll announce it to everyone so you can come visit us. But it's really about reconnecting to the community and getting a sense for what our priorities are, so that for the next legislative session we're ready to go and ready to get back to work doing the people's business. So I'm excited to go home and get connected again and get back to work on sort of expressing and communicating what we've done and hearing feedback on what we can do better in the next session. We'll have a district office phone number, but that will be on our website, and if you call our Olympia line, we'll have a message there with that number. But email works 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Our hotline still works. All of the normal resources that people use to connect to me during session also work during interim. Sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to get back to folks because the schedule's a little looser during the interim, but we will do our best to hear your thoughts and get back to you with how we can help. So.
And you're even on Facebook, aren't you?
That's right. Be one of my Facebook friends. I'm also on Twitter, and those are great places to find out what I'm working on during the interim and also to connect with me and share your thoughts. A lot of people, I've actually had folks lobby me through Facebook, so you can do it too if you just log on to Facebook and look up Marco Liias.